man, it's allowed to look this damn good.
This film is about the introduction of the streamlined fastback two-door car designs that emerged on production automobiles at the start of the 1930s, leading up to the years pre-World War II. A fastback is a car body consisting of a single convex curve from the roof of the car to the rear bumper and is related to streamlining and aerodynamics. At the beginning of the 1930s, there were several automobile manufacturers and designers, both in the United States and Europe, talking about improving the aerodynamics of cars. Between 1930 and 1935, there were several prototypes with some beautiful designs built and displayed at car shows on both sides of the Atlantic. While this video is predominantly about the two-door fully enclosed fastbacks, I will mention a couple of four-door versions because of their special place in the history of streamlining cars. This early drawing from 1931 shows what a fastback shape should look like and its purpose of streamlining a car to achieve improved performance plus speed and fuel efficiency. The Birney Streamline car, also known as the Crossley-Birney Streamline or the Birney Aerodynamic, was quite possibly the earliest example of a fully enclosed fastback design. Conceived by Sir Dennis Birney, the Birney car was unveiled in 1930, embodying the principles of aerodynamics that were just beginning to influence car design. Its sleek, elongated body was crafted to minimize air resistance, a concept that was novel for its time. The car's streamlined shape was not just about aesthetics. It was a functional choice that enhanced speed and efficiency, making it a precursor to the modern aerodynamic vehicles we see today. One of the most striking features of the Birney car was its rear engine layout, a rarity in an era dominated by front-engine designs. This innovative placement contributed to the car's balanced weight distribution and improved handling. The interior of the car was equally futuristic, with seating arranged in a lounge-like fashion, emphasizing comfort and space. The Birney aerodynamic car was more than just a vehicle. It was a glimpse into the future of automotive design. Although only a few prototypes were built, Crossley built the Streamline under license from Sir Dennis Birney, designer of the R100 airship. Birney had established Streamline Cars Limited in Maidenhead during 1930 and had built 12 prototypes of his advanced rear-engine car. Unfortunately, the Crossley version of the Streamline was short-lived, being expensive to build and needing further development work. Just 25 were built, and there is only 3 known survivors. In the annals of automotive history, few cars capture the imagination quite like the 1932 Hispano-Suiza H6B Dubonnet Xenia. This marvel of engineering and design was born from the collaboration between the Spanish-French luxury car manufacturer Hispano-Suiza and the visionary French pilot and inventor André Dubonnet. The story of the Xenia begins with Dubonnet's desire to create a car that combined cutting-edge technology with unparalleled luxury. He chose the Hispano-Suiza H6B as the base for his ambitious project, a car already renowned for its refined engineering and elegant design. Dubonnet commissioned the talented coach builder Jacques Soucik to craft the body of the Xenia. The result was nothing short of breathtaking. The car featured a sleek, aerodynamic shape with flowing lines and a distinctive fastback profile. Its gull-wing doors and futuristic wraparound windshield were years ahead of their time, creating a visual spectacle that was both elegant and otherworldly. Under the hood, the Xenia was powered by Hispano-Suiza's robust 8-liter inline-6 engine, ensuring that its performance matched its striking appearance. But what truly set the Xenia apart was its innovative suspension system, designed by Dubonnet himself. The Dubonnet suspension was an early form of independent front suspension that provided unparalleled ride comfort and handling for its time. The interior of the Xenia was a sanctuary of luxury, with sumptuous leather upholstery, exquisite wood trim, and a level of craftsmanship that was second to none. Every detail, from the intricate instrument panel to the elegant controls, was designed with both form and function in mind. The 1932 Hispano-Suiza H6B Dubonnet Xenia was more than just a car. It was a rolling work of art that represented the pinnacle of automotive innovation and design. There was only ever one built. Pierce Arrow were amongst the first when, in 1933, they completed a vehicle and exhibited it at the Chicago Century of Progress Exposition. The car, named as the Silver Arrow, had been originally started with a talented young designer named Phil Wright, working in the design department at General Motors. But budget cuts put a stop to the project, and so Phil Wright, who was now out of a job, showed his plans to the executives at Pierce Arrow, resulting in him working with the parent company, Studebaker's chief designer Jimmy Hughes, and after completing 5 vehicles in early 1933, they were dispatched to various car shows around the country. Meanwhile, General Motors had got wind of this car being built and quickly built a Cadillac version of their own. Described as an aerodynamic coupe built on a Series 452-C149-inch wheelbase chassis, bodied by Fleetwood and with a 16-cylinder motor, it had a streamlined fastback shape and was a forerunner for many of the fastback cars to come. It was launched in 1934, and surprisingly, only 8 of these cars were produced between 1934 and 1937. Also, in 1934, Gabriel Voisin, whose French company specialized in crafting cars of lightweight materials, released the Voisin C25. The car featured a 3-liter sleeve valve type motor with 2 carburetors developing 100 horsepower and delivering a top speed of over 85 miles per hour. The Aerodyne capitalized upon the public's growing interest with streamlining and aerodynamics and was launched at the 28th Paris Salon Automobile Show in October 1934. Only 7 of these cars were built, of which only 4 remain. One of them sold for roughly $2 million in 2013. Packard also had a crack at the aerodynamic streamline fastback. The Packard 12 Model 1106 Sport Coupe. The shape for the Sport Coupe was designed by LeBaron, but built at Packard's factory. After its release in 1934, the design was so refined in its detail and aesthetics that Mercedes-Benz modeled their own 540K Autobahn Courier after it, and many other French companies later caught onto the act as well. But again, only 4 of these Packard cars were produced. Note the triangular rear windows in both the Silver Arrow and the Packard. Very unusual because Packards had never before or after used triangular rear windows. According to Wikipedia, the Pierce Silver Arrow was the first 2-door car with a streamlined fastback configuration. Wikipedia does not even mention the 1933 Chrysler Airflow, which was actually the first to produce a good number of cars to the general public. Their car was released in January of 1934, and they went on to produce 29,600 cars from 1934 to 1937. This car was way ahead of its time and used the new unibody construction method of the chassis and body being a single integrated unit first used on the 1923 Lancia Lambda. Overall, Chrysler were not happy with the sales performance of the Airflow. They had put considerable effort into the testing of this car and had included special features such as double-glazed windows, hydraulic power brakes, and the split windshield could be opened via 2 rotating knobs inside the car to allow a better airflow into the cabin. It had a huge interior for its time. The 4-door version of the Airflow, driven by Indy veteran Harry Hartz, set 72 speed and distance records at the Bonneville Salt Flats in Utah, averaging 97.5 miles per hour over a mile. Then he drove from New York to San Francisco in the same car, averaging 18 miles per gallon and spending just $33 on gas. Come 1935, Alfa Romeo released their first fastback on their 6C 2300 chassis called Turismo Berlina Sofio di Satana, but we will talk more about the Alfa fastbacks later in the video. The Lancia Astura 233C Aerodynamica by Italian carmaker Lancia was created in 1935 with a body from Castagna Bodywork Company of Milan. 2 examples of this type were produced. Unlike most stylists, the car was produced with a closed body. Italy enjoys a lot of sunshine, and a large part of the cars created were convertibles. The car is powered by a 3.0-liter V8 engine that is capable of producing 82 horsepower, which for the time was quite impressive. The engine is mated to a 4-speed manual transmission that transfers power to the rear wheels. The Astura stands out from its competitors with its independent suspension system that utilizes transverse leaf springs at the front and a solid axle with transverse springs at the rear. This, combined with the car's light and nimble body, makes driving this vehicle an absolute joy. The interior of this car is no less impressive than the exterior. It features a spacious cabin with comfortable leather seats that can accommodate up to 4 occupants. The dashboard is beautifully crafted with wooden inserts and features a variety of gauges and controls to give the driver access to vital information. This car remains a classic that continues to wow automobile enthusiasts to this day. (1931) General Motors purchased Australian company Holden's Motor Body Builders Limited of Adelaide, South Australia, and merged the company with General Motors Australia to form General Motors Holden's Limited. This gave them an Australian identity. Holden's, 6 years earlier, in 1924, had become the exclusive supplier of car bodies for General Motors in Australia, with manufacturing taking place at their new Holden Woodville plant. These bodies were made to suit a number of chassis imported from manufacturers of that time that were in the General Motors stable. Brands that included Austin, Buick, Chevrolet, Cleveland, Dodge, Essex, Fiat, and Hudson, along with Oakland, Oldsmobile, Overland, Rio, Studebaker, and Willys Knight. Fast forward to 1934, when General Motors Holden's South Australia, after negotiations with General Motors head office in the USA, were given approval for their plans of a fastback aerodynamic body to be used on Buick, Chevrolet, Pontiac, Oldsmobile, and later Vauxhall. The official name for these cars was all-enclosed coupe, but the unofficial name given by the public was the Sloper. The Sloper design was first released on Chevrolet, Oldsmobile, and Pontiac in 1935. They all had the same bodies with the streamlined fastback shape at the rear, but had the grille and bonnets of their respected makes and models. Richards Bodybuilders of South Australia, who were contracted to Chrysler, added the style to Dodge and Plymouth in 1937, and also built by a Sydney bodybuilder in 1936, the Hudson Terraplane bears a remarkable similarity to the Holden-built Sloper of the same period. The car also features a folding rear seat in a manner used by Holdens. All up, between 1935 and 1941, Holden produced around 9,000 Slopers. There are not a lot of them left around today. The Australian Army took over Holden's in 1940 for the duration of the Second World War. While Holden's contribution to the development of the streamlined fastback style, it seems to have gone unnoticed by the rest of the motoring world, although it had to have influenced Ford, who released their version, the Ford Tudor, in 1939, both in Australia and the USA. 1935, Jean Bugatti created something extraordinary. The Bugatti Type 57 Aerolith prototype with chassis number 57331. This avant-garde design was not only breathtaking but also ahead of its time, featuring a body made of electron, a magnesium-aluminum alloy that was lightweight but highly flammable, making it difficult to weld. Despite these challenges, the Aerolith became a legend, inspiring the production of 4 Type 57 Atlantic coupés. 3 of these Atlantics were crafted in 1936, each with their own unique touches, while the 4th, famously known as La Voiture Noire, was completed in 1938. These Atlantics, with their distinctive riveted spines reminiscent of the Aerolith's design, have become some of the most valuable and sought-after cars in the world. The legacy of the Aerolith prototype lives on through these magnificent creations, a testament to Bugatti's blend of artistic vision and engineering prowess. The original Bugatti Type 57 prototype no longer exists, as it was driven around and shown in a few car shows and then dismantled a year later. In more recent years, several replicas have been made, but it is the originals that fetch in the tens of millions of dollars in the vintage car trade. In 1936, the Austrian manufacturer Steyr-Daimler-Puch introduced a remarkable vehicle, the Steyr 50, also affectionately known as the Baby. Designed by the visionary engineer Karl Jenschke, this car was a testament to innovation and elegance. With its streamlined design, the Steyr 50 stood out for its aerodynamic efficiency. Under the hood, it boasted a 4-cylinder, 1.2-liter engine, delivering a smooth and comfortable ride. The interior reflected the car's overall sophistication with a well-appointed cabin and an elegant dashboard. The Steyr 50 was not just a car. It was a symbol of Austrian automotive excellence, cherished for its style and performance. Today, it remains a classic, celebrated for its contribution to the history of motoring. This car was well received by the Austrian public, and they went on to make 13,000 units between 1936 and 1940. In the annals of automotive history, few cars have captured the imagination quite like the 1936 Cord 810 and its later variant, the 812. These cars were not just vehicles. They were rolling art pieces, embodying the spirit of innovation and the boldness of design that defined the 1930s. The Cord 810, introduced at the New York Auto Show in 1935, was a revelation. It was the brainchild of Gordon Berrig, a visionary designer who sought to break away from the conventional car designs of the era. The 810's most striking feature was its front end, characterized by the absence of a traditional radiator grille. Instead, it had a louvered coffin nose, a design choice that was both aerodynamic and visually stunning. The car's innovations were not limited to its exterior. The Cord 810 was one of the first American cars to feature front-wheel drive, a technological leap that improved handling and allowed for a lower, more streamlined profile. It also boasted a semi-automatic transmission known as the pre-selector, which was ahead of its time. Under the hood, the Cord 810 was powered by a Lycoming V8 engine, delivering around 125 horsepower. This engine was later upgraded in the 812 model to include a supercharger, boosting the power output to an impressive 170 horsepower and giving the car a top speed of over 100 miles per hour. The interior of the Cord 810 and 812 was equally innovative, with a dashboard that resembled an airplane cockpit, featuring an array of gauges and dials that were both functional and aesthetically pleasing. Despite its groundbreaking features and stunning design, the Cord 810 and 812 faced challenges in the marketplace. High production costs, coupled with the economic difficulties of the Great Depression, limited the car's accessibility to a wider audience. As a result, only about 3,000 units were produced between 1936 and 1937 before production ceased. Today, the Cord 810 and 812 are celebrated as icons of American automotive design. They are highly sought after by collectors and enthusiasts who appreciate their unique blend of artistry, innovation, and performance. These cars stand as a testament to a time when creativity knew no bounds and the future of motoring seemed filled with endless possibilities. The Talbot Lago T150 CSS, produced from 1937 to 1940, was a groundbreaking automobile that pushed the boundaries of design and innovation. This car, with its distinctive teardrop shape, was a symbol of the Art Deco movement and a testament to the engineering prowess of its time. The Talbot Lago teardrop car's distinctive body design was the work of Fagoni and Falaschi, a renowned coach-building firm based in France during the 1930s and 1940s. This duo was known for their innovative designs that often incorporated sensual curves and modern styling elements, such as the aerodynamic teardrop shape. Their designs were a reflection of the Art Deco movement, which emphasized sleek, streamlined forms and geometric patterns. The body was crafted from light aluminum, which not only reduced the car's weight, but also enhanced its aerodynamic properties. Under the hood, the T150 CSS was powered by a 3.0-liter straight-six engine. This engine was capable of delivering 110 horsepower, making it one of the most powerful cars of its time. It featured a dual overhead camshaft design, which was a first for a production car, providing superior performance and efficiency. This car also featured a number of other innovative features. It was one of the first cars to feature independent front suspension, which significantly improved handling and ride comfort. Inside, the T150 CSS was a luxurious and comfortable vehicle. It featured a spacious interior with plush leather seats and a dashboard adorned with chrome accents. The car was also one of the first to feature a fully enclosed cabin, providing a more comfortable and quieter ride. In conclusion, the Talbot Lago T150 CSS was a groundbreaking automobile that pushed the boundaries of design and innovation. Its aerodynamic teardrop shape, powerful engine, and innovative features made it a standout vehicle of its time. It truly was a work of art on wheels. There was only 11 of these teardrop cars ever made. Commonly known as the New York Teardrop Coupe, and a number of them still exist today, and purchasing one is only in the realm of the filthy rich. In 1937, automobile manufacturer Adler, located in Frankfurt in Germany, introduced a series of streamlined cars that would leave an indelible mark on automotive history. One of the most notable creations was the Adler 2.5-liter streamlined car, designed by Carl Jenschke. This vehicle was a marvel of its time, showcasing a sleek and aerodynamic body that was not just about aesthetics, but also about enhancing performance. The car's design was heavily influenced by the principles of aerodynamics, with a focus on reducing air resistance to improve speed and fuel efficiency. Jenschke's vision was to create a car that was both beautiful and functional, and the Adler 2.5-liter was a testament to that. Carl Jenschke was previously director of engineering with Austrian company Steyr Daimler Puch, and his last creation during his time with Steyr had been the Steyr 50, which the Adler 2.5-liter, though larger, closely resembled. Both on account of its uncompromisingly streamlined silhouette and because its launch coincided with Germany's first Autobahn construction boom, the car was popularly known as the Autobahn Adler. The body for the four-door Fastback saloon came from Ambi Budd, who was Berlin-based, and the two- and four-door cabriolet bodies came from Carmen of Osnabrück. Later that same year, Adler took aerodynamics a step further with the introduction of the Adler Trumpf Rennlimousine. Inspired by the ideas of Paul Jarret, an engineer known for his work in aircraft design, the Rennlimousine was a racing limousine that embodied the essence of streamlining. Jouret's influence was evident in the car's teardrop shape, which was designed to minimize drag and maximize speed. The Rennes limousine was not just a car, it was a statement, a bold declaration of Adler's commitment to innovation and excellence in automotive design. It was a laboratory on wheels. It served as a testing ground for new ideas and technologies, many of which would later become standard in the automotive industry. The car's design emphasized not only speed, but also stability and handling, making it a precursor to the modern sports car. In the golden era of automotive elegance, the Mercedes-Benz 540K Autobahn Courier stood as a paragon of luxury and engineering prowess. Unveiled in 1937, this masterpiece was the epitome of high-speed travel in an age when the world was rapidly moving towards modernity. The 540K Autobahn Courier, inspired by the 1934 Packard 12 model 1106 Sport Coupe, was born out of a desire to dominate the newly constructed German autobahns, highways designed for unbridled speed. With its sleek aerodynamic design, the Courier was not just a car, it was a statement of sophistication and power. Its body, crafted by the skilled artisans at the Mercedes-Benz Sindelfingen factory, featured a long, sweeping bonnet and a fastback rear that epitomized the streamlined style of the era. At the heart of this automotive marvel was a formidable 5.4-liter supercharged straight-8 engine. When the supercharger was engaged, the 540K Autobahn Courier roared to life, producing an impressive 180 horsepower. The interior of the 540K Autobahn Courier was a sanctuary of opulence. Fine leather, polished wood, and gleaming chrome surrounded passengers, offering a level of comfort and style that was unmatched. Every detail, from the elegant instrumentation to the sumptuous seats, was designed to provide an unparalleled driving experience. Despite its grandeur, the 540K Autobahn Courier was an exclusive rarity, with only a handful being produced. Each one was tailored to the specific desires of its discerning owner, making each Courier a unique piece of automotive history. The Mercedes-Benz 540K Autobahn Courier is an extremely rare pre-World War II classic car and highly sought after. Given its limited production, historical significance, and luxurious craftsmanship, it commands a premium price in the collector car market. It's not uncommon for a 540K Autobahn Courier to fetch several $1 million at auction. In Germany in 1938, the first Volkswagen Beetle emerged from the drawing board into the public domain. It was originally called the KDF wagon, and its image was the wagon for the folk. It was instigated by Adolf Hitler, who publicly espoused that it would be the people's car, but his real intent was to build a factory to build military vehicles for his future campaigns. Needless to say, the Volkswagen never really arrived in 1938. The car was a good design, but its design had countless examples of intellectual property theft from the work of others on vehicles. As an example, the work of Hans Ledwinka on the Tatra T97 car and others like it at the Tatra Motor Company in Czechoslovakia. Because of the war, only 630 Beetles were made, and they went to Nazi officials only. It was not till after the war that the British military repaired the factory and then relaunched the Volkswagen to give the people of Germany employment. Eventually, the Germans were given back control and the company was named Volkswagen. With over 22 million produced, the Beetle is the longest-running and most manufactured car of a single platform ever made. The Royal was Chrysler's two-door fastback model coupe for 1938, replacing the 1934 Airflow design, which was great but expensive and unreliable at best. This car also looked more streamlined than the stubby-nosed Airflow, and it had a shape very similar to the Australian Holden-bodied General Motors brands of 1935 to 1941 slopers. It came with a 6-cylinder engine and included sweeping fenders, rear suicide doors, dual windshield wipers, dual tail lights, and dual chrome trumpet horns. The interior had a real Art Deco look about it as well. Produced from 1938 to 1942 and after the war from 1946 to 50. And the two-door had only 1,000 units produced, and like the slopers, there are not a lot of them left today. Between 1938 and 1940, Nash Motors had made some attempts at some two-door fastback-style cars of the time, but they did not quite achieve a decent enough curve at the rear of the car to attract decent sales. Their 4 doors did sell well, though. But then, in 1941, they released a much-improved Nash 600 slipstream sedan that was a stunning example of aerodynamic design in the early 1940s. Available in both deluxe and special models, it featured a sleek fastback style that not only looked elegant but also contributed to its efficiency and performance. The curved lines of the slipstream sedan were not just for aesthetics. They were carefully crafted to reduce air resistance, allowing the car to glide more smoothly through the air. This innovation was a part of Nash's commitment to combining style with practicality, offering drivers a vehicle that was both beautiful and economical. Nash 600 Slipstream sedan was powered by a 172.6 cubic inch, 2.8-liter inline-6 engine capable of producing around 82 horsepower. This engine was paired with a 3-speed manual transmission, offering a smooth and reliable driving experience. The car was named 600 because it was touted to be able to travel 600 miles on a single tank of gas, highlighting its fuel efficiency, a notable feature at the time. The Nash 600 was one of the first mass-produced unibody cars, which means that the body and frame were constructed as a single unit, resulting in a lighter and stronger structure compared to traditional body-on-frame designs. This construction method contributed to the car's efficiency and handling. In terms of interior features, the 1941 Nash 600 offered comfortable seating, with the deluxe model boasting more upscale trim and upholstery options. The car also featured a unique weather eye heating and ventilation system, which was an advanced climate control system for its time, providing passengers with a more comfortable driving environment. Overall, the 1941 Nash 600 Slipstream sedan was a well-engineered vehicle that combined style and efficiency, and is appreciated to this day. In 1939, Dodge introduced the Luxury Liner Special, also known as the D11 model, as part of its efforts to offer a stylish yet affordable vehicle during the late 1930s. The car was designed to provide a balance of comfort, performance, and elegance, catering to the needs of middle-class consumers who sought a touch of luxury without the hefty price tag. The 1939 Dodge Luxury Liner Special was powered by a reliable 3.6-liter inline-6 engine, capable of producing around 87 horsepower. This engine was paired with a 3-speed manual transmission, providing smooth and efficient performance for its time. One of the key selling points of the Luxury Liner Special was its interior. The car boasted a spacious and well-appointed cabin with comfortable seating for up to 5 passengers. The interior was finished with high-quality materials, including plush upholstery and elegant trim, creating a luxurious ambiance. The exterior of the Luxury Liner Special was equally impressive, with its sleek lines and stylish design. The car featured a prominent grille, large headlights, and flowing fenders, all contributing to its distinctive and attractive appearance. Production numbers for the 1939 Dodge Luxury Liner Special 2-door were around the 27,000 mark, and it was a popular model among consumers of the time. Its combination of affordability, style, and performance made it a desirable choice for many American families, contributing to its success in the market. The evolution of automotive design has seen a harmonious blend of art and engineering, and a prime example of this marriage is the 1939 Alfa Romeo 6C 2500 SS Berlinetta Aerodinamica. Crafted by the eminent Carrozzeria Touring of Milan, this model stands as a monument to pre-war innovation and aesthetic flair. The story of the Berlinetta Aerodinamica begins with its predecessors, the 1935 moderately streamlined Alfa Romeo Turismo Berlina Soffio di Satana, and then the 1937 Alfa Romeo 6C 2300B Mille Miglia, with a body also designed by Touring. This car was the precursor to the Fastback design, boasting a more streamlined shape than its contemporaries, which reduced drag and laid the groundwork for the Aerodinamica. It captured the essence of speed and grace, qualities that would be honed to perfection in the 6C 2500 SS. For its time, this 1939 6C 2500 SS was the most modern and streamlined-looking sports car to emerge pre-World War II and was the forerunner to the near-perfect 1960s E-Type Jaguar. This culmination of progressive thought gave birth to the Berlinetta Aerodinamica. Here, Touring's superleggera technique came to the forefront, using a lightweight structure of thin, tubular steel frames and aluminum body panels, optimizing both the car's agility and its speed. The design was a deliberate move toward aerodynamic efficiency, and the additional streamlined curves at the front end of the car was a testament to Touring's mastery and a clear first since the dawn of the streamlined fastback style. A mere handful of these automotive masterpieces were produced, each an individual creation that catered to the desires of its distinguished clientele. Today, the 1939 Alfa Romeo 6C 2500 SS Berlinetta Aerodinamica remains an emblem of a bygone era, an era that celebrated the sculptural beauty of design as much as the mechanical beast that resided within. In the early 1940s, General Motors was at the forefront of automotive innovation, ushering in an era of sleek, aerodynamic designs that would forever change the landscape of the American automobile industry. Among the most notable contributions to this design revolution were the 1941 GM Streamline Fastback models, including the Buick, Oldsmobile, Cadillac, and Pontiac, followed by the 1942 Chevrolet. Halfway across the world in Adelaide, South Australia, General Motors had already dabbled in the fastback designs that Holden bodybuilders had produced as a subsidiary of General Motors and as early as 1935. These bodies for Buick, Chevrolet, Oldsmobile, and Pontiac had very similar profiles to the updated and more streamlined GM fastbacks that were being introduced in 1941. The 1941 Buick, with its signature sweep spear side trim and torpedo-like silhouette, was a masterpiece of streamlined design. Its elegant lines and fluid form not only enhanced its aesthetic appeal, but also improved its aerodynamic efficiency, making it a favorite among consumers who sought both style and performance. Oldsmobile, another GM marquee, embraced the fastback trend with its 1941 models, featuring smooth, rounded contours that seamlessly integrated the front and rear of the vehicle. This design not only reduced wind resistance, but also gave the car a more cohesive and modern appearance, further solidifying Oldsmobile's reputation for innovation. Cadillac, GM's luxury division, took the fastback design to new heights with its 1941 models. The Cadillac Series 62, in particular, showcased a sleek, elongated profile that exuded elegance and sophistication. Its refined lines and impeccable craftsmanship set a new standard for luxury automobiles and solidified Cadillac's position as a leader in automotive design. The 1941 Pontiac Torpedo two-door Fastback was a striking embodiment of style and performance. With its sleek, streamlined body, it epitomized the era's fascination with aerodynamics. The torpedo's elegant curves and flowing lines not only enhanced its visual appeal, but also improved its efficiency on the road. Under the hood, it boasted a robust inline-8 engine, delivering smooth and powerful performance. Inside, passengers were treated to a spacious and comfortable cabin with luxurious appointments and advanced features for the time. The Torpedo Fastback was more than just a car. It was a statement of sophistication and innovation. Chevrolet, GM's most popular brand, in 1942 joined the Fastback movement with its Fleetline Aero sedan. This model featured a dramatic fastback roofline that extended gracefully from the windshield to the rear bumper, creating a profile that was both striking and aerodynamic. Despite being introduced in a year marked by the onset of World War II, the Fleetline Aero sedan became one of Chevrolet's best-selling models, proving the enduring appeal of the fastback design. General Motors' release and large production run of their stable of streamlined fastback cars in 1941 and 1942 pre-war had a huge influence on the rest of the motoring world come post-war. Hey, thanks for watching, and please like and subscribe, and if there are some cars I have missed, please let us know in the comments.